Marie Antoinette and Persen's Love Part 1. It was Count Persen who put into effect the escape plan of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, who were imprisoned in the Tuileries Palace. He poured all his money into this plan. This is because he passionately admired Antoinette. In such a critical situation, Antoinette was a luxurious large carriage pulled by 6 horses. Despite Persen's persuasion that the family should move separately, his proposal was rejected. It is said that even though the carriage was pulled by 6 strong horses, it did not go fast. This is because under the Queen's instructions, many items were loaded, including bottles of wine, all expensive silver decorated tableware, a cooking stove, and a wardrobe containing newly cut dresses and various formal attire. As soon as the king arrived at Bondy, their first lodging after leaving Paris, he decided to kick out Count Persen. This is because he was dissatisfied with the relationship between his wife and Persen, and the uncomfortable journey that he led. Persen, who sacrificed everything and devoted himself to the king and his wife, even driving a carriage himself, approached Marie disguised as noblewoman Corfe and whispered, "Adieu, Madame de Corfe." Marie Antoinette and Count Persen's Love Part 2. After Persen was fired, a rumor spread that the king and his wife were on the run. Eventually, they were captured by revolutionary forces in Varennes, and deprived of their royal authority. Persen received a letter from Antoinette on the auxiliary side. "I've been adoring you all the time." This one sentence from Antoinette made Persen's heart beat. About 8 months later, late at night on February 13, 1792, Persen broke into the Tuileries Palace, where the king and his wife were imprisoned, and secretly met with Antoinette. Persen did not leave the Tuileries until the next morning. He wrote in his diary, "I stayed at the palace that night." Antoinette also did not inform Louis XVI of Persen's visit. It seems clear that they have confirmed their sincere love for each other. That night's secret meeting became a prelude to eternal separation for them. Marie Antoinette and Count Persen's Love Part 3. The day after Persen spent a secret night with Antoinette at the Tuileries Palace, he met with Louis XVI and proposed a flight plan, but the king rejected it. Afterwards, Persen tried to use every possible means to rescue them, but he was not successful. Finally, the following year, on January 21, 1793, Louis XVI was executed on the guillotine. Marie Antoinette was also executed in a trumped-up trial, despite the investigation, finding that there was no evidence whatsoever. "My heart is completely yours." Antoinette's last letter was delivered to Persen. There was a rumor that Persen, who had been living a lonely life without meaning, had poisoned the Swedish prince. An unreasonable crowd attacked Persen when he appeared at the prince's funeral, and beat him mercilessly until he died. It was June 20, 1810. Strangely, June 20th, when Persen died, was the same day as the Varennes flight incident. People whispered that Persen and Antoinette were comrades who shared the same unfortunate fate.